morning, students. So let us move on to the next section, that is common collector characteristics. We have already studied the common emitter characteristic circuit and common base characteristic circuit. In the same way, we can consider the common collector characteristic circuit. See, there is an input cell, output cell. Input cell is less than output cell. Okay, this is 2 volt and this is 12 volt. There is a resistance RH1, so rheostat RH1, and another is RH2 in the input and output respectively. Now, see the connection. The connection of the transistor is common collector, that is emitter here, base here, and collector here. This is common collector. Okay, and collector is common to input and output. Okay, this is called input section and it is called output section. Input section, there is a ammeter, there is a voltmeter, and the ammeter reads microampere ആണ് read ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് microammeter വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, because it is IB എപ്പോഴും ചെറുതാണ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് IB ഉള്ളിടത്തൊക്കെ micro ആണ് വെക്കാറ്. Then moving on to the collector section, this is milliampere and this is the output voltage, VCE, voltage across collector and emitter, voltage across collector and base. Okay, and the directions are shown as in the figure. And as the procedure we have discussed in the previous section, that is in the case of CB and in the case of CE, it is same. How to make the procedure for drawing characteristics? There are two characteristics, that is input characteristics and output characteristics. How input characteristics is drawn? Input characteristics is drawn between VCB and IB. Okay, this section voltage VCB and current IB. So input that is between VCB and IB. And what is output? Output is between VCE and IE. Output characteristics is drawn between VCE and IE. And the main thing is to be noted that, okay, here the collector is NPN, so collector is N. So with respect to collector, this is positive, this is N and this is positive. So this connection is reverse biased. And here, look at, this is base is positive and this is positive. Here it is negative and it is negative. So the section, input section is forward biased and output section is reverse biased. So the main thing to construct a characteristic circuit is that you have to ensure the forward biasing condition in the input section, reverse biasing condition in the output section. And while doing the reverse biasing, make sure that the biasing is done with respect to collector. Okay, and there will be an ammeter, voltmeter in the output, ammeter, voltmeter in the input, rheostat RH1 and RH2 in the input and output, and cell is less for input and that is more for the output. And how the variation is done? In order to find the variation of VCB and IB, that is input, first use the RH2. RH2 ഉപയോഗിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് make VCE constant. Making a use of RH2, fix VCE and then change RH1 and vary the values of VCB and IB and tabulate it and make a characteristics graph, V along x-axis and I along y-axis. Okay, and the process is repeated for different constant values of VCE. Similarly, in order to do the output characteristics ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? Input current ആണ് constant ആക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. So first change RH1, make this IB constant. RH1 change ചെയ്ത് IB constant ചെയ്യുക. എവിടെയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് അവിടുത്തെ rheostat ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുക. Okay, so RH1 change ചെയ്തിട്ട് IB constant ആക്കി വെക്കുക. Then നമുക്ക് വേരിയേഷൻ കാണേണ്ടത് എവിടെയാണ്? Then RH2 change ചെയ്തിട്ട് vary the values of VCE and IE. Tabulate it and plot with VCE along x-axis and IE along y-axis. Okay, and by doing so, ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് we will get a proper plot of the input characteristics and the output characteristics. And one more thing you have to study is that the main thing that input characteristics symbol, doing input characteristics, we are making output voltage constant, and doing input characteristics we are making output voltage constant, and for output characteristics we are making input current constant. So that's all about the procedure for finding the characteristics. Now in the next section we will move on to the characteristic graph of the common collector circuit. Hope it is understood for you. Okay, thank you.